Welcome to Scottish Cheese Trail. We have a fantastic range of cheeses from across Scotland here. So let's start with the cheese board. So every cheese board needs a lovely farmhouse cheese to start with. And we have a lovely range from across the country. So you have one for every day of the week, and they're all delicious and all different because there's a terroir to them. And in fact, we have territorials here like this Isle of Mull. We're going to add in a semi-soft cheese. We've got Ballochmyle here from Ayrshire, but we also have Allen Mist, Connage, Douaclava, so there's a range of semi-soft cheeses that you can use. Let's have a fresh cheese to balance this cheese board. We have the Clarkland Crowdy or the Elric Log from Errington. Now this is a goat's cheese, so we've now got 2 cow and a goat in there. That makes a lovely combination, and you have to have a blue cheese on your cheese board. This is the Fleet Valley Blue with cow's milk from the Ethical Dairy, and that is a good starter there. You might want to add in a continental like the Tommen or the Connage Gouda. You might want to add in a different kind of animal like ewe's milk cheese from Coralin or Cairnsmore from Galway Farmhouse, or the bonnet cheese, which is a hard goat's cheese from Dunlop Dairy. So there's a lovely range there to pick from. But there's such a range you can do with your cheeses apart from a cheese board. And we love a cheese board at the end of the day and at the beginning of the day. We eat a lot of cheese at breakfast. And when you've had a cheese board, there's often untidy bits left. So what do you do with them? Well, when you have bits of farmhouse cheese left over, you can either grate them and put them in a bag in the freezer, perfect for another meal, or you can even freeze them. I've been known when I get some mail order to buy half a dozen at a time and put some in the freezer. When you have a high quality cheese, they actually freeze well. Now sometimes you get a little bit of a crumbly texture, which is good to know, and you'll get to know which ones freeze a little bit better than others, depending what you're using them for. But we've frozen every one of these and eaten them for breakfast. So maybe not for the dinner cheese board, but certainly at breakfast time, and perfect for cooking as well. So cooking cheese works beautifully in so many recipes, doesn't it? Cheese scones, a classic, and these are using one of the farmhouse cheeses, but you can have blue cheese scones as well. Every cheese lover, I'm sure, has got one of these little brie bakers. They are super. In a hot oven for a few moments with one of the bries inside, and they're sensational. Dip your sourdough in and it will vanish very quickly. We also have a little raclette, a treat for Sunday breakfast, for example. And the Rainton Tuna from the Ethical Dairy and the Connage Gouda are fantastic melters for a raclette style meal. And it's a nice sharing thing to have as a supper thing as well. What else have we got here? Well, the blue cheeses work beautifully also in a pie like in quiche, and in soups like cauliflower with a blue cheese, or celery with a blue cheese is terrific as well. You can make cheese pastries, little choux buns. You can use gratins. Now a gratin is when you have the cheese on top, maybe some cheese in the sauce as well. And it is particularly good with some sourdough breadcrumbs through the top. It gives you a lovely finish, a nice professional finish on the top. So mix a few, we've got some homemade sourdough breadcrumbs, mix a few through with your cheese for a lovely tasty finish. We also make our own pesto. This is with wild garlic, and of course a classic pesto ingredient is Parmesan. Not in Scotland. We have got the Isle of Mull and we've got the St Andrews Farmhouse Mature, and both of those are perfect, not only for a classic pesto, but also as a use for Parmesan on dishes. So some of these are a little bit milder and very aromatic, and you might want to use them with something more delicate like a fish dish, or just enjoy with a ploughman's. And some of them are a little bit more mature and tangy and great for things like your grating on your dishes and your pesto. So a mix of different ranges, you'll get to know and love your favourites. And if you'd like the recipe for these delicious cheese straws, they're also, along with other cheese recipes, on the scottishfoodguide.scot website. You may remember there's a couple of mozzarellas being made in Scotland as well, Yester and Kedar. And so here I've got some of the Kedar mozzarella ready to go in the oven on Scotland the Bread pizza bases with our own homemade tomato sauce with some of the pesto. And that is a lovely, of course, way of using up bits of cheese as well on a pizza. Here's one I made earlier. And this will definitely be for our tea tonight. Bon appetit.